have been listening to Claire de Lune by Kamasi Washington off his beautiful album Epic from, I think, 2015. I have been Stack. You've been listening to KALX Berkeley. And just before I head off, I have one last message for you guys about justice at last. Human trafficking is the exploitation of people through force, fraud, or coercion. Trafficking can take many forms, including sexual exploitation, forced labor, drug dealing, domestic servitude, forced marriage, even organ removal, and more. Justice at Last is a non-profit organization of attorneys and human rights advocates whose mission it is to empower victims of trafficking by providing access to free, comprehensive legal services and advocacy on issues that victims of human trafficking often face, such as criminal record clearance, immigration issues, employment rights, restraining orders, and more. They aim to provide support that is client-centered and culturally sensitive. To learn more about human trafficking and what you can do to help, go to justiceatlast.org. That's JUSTICE @last.org. So thanks to everyone for listening in. This has been a blast. I will be back here at the same time in 2 weeks from now. So tune in then. And I will also be doing a Valentine's special from 3 to 4:30 on Wednesday. So if you have dedications, get on the KALX website and submit them. And we will read out your messages and play your songs for that special summon. Now I am going to hand over to the KALX basketball broadcast in the next few minutes. So stay tuned. Go Bears.
On a wonderful Saturday afternoon, welcome to Haas Pavilion here on KALX Berkeley 90.7 FM. This is Ryan Chen and Rohan Gandhi on the mic. here as the lights turn off, and they are announcing the starting lineups for either team. Now, both teams are on a bit of a winning streak. Cal winning its last two, UCLA winning its last six. So a winning streak will be broken here today. Cal 10-13 overall, UCLA 12-11. But both teams, as I've mentioned, are on a hot streak.
Yeah.
For both teams to win it, you can start with Cal, you can start with UCLA. Rohan, what are your keys to the game?
Well, I mean, Cal is really it's a very different team than earlier in the year, and one of the main reasons why to me is turnovers. Since Pac-12 play began, Cal has really taken care of the ball and is now third in the league in turnovers. So I think taking care of the ball is going to be key, and of course, 3-point shooting has been the hallmark of the offense this year. Jalen Celestine is the most efficient 3-point shooter in the Pac-12 so far. So I think getting him the rock, getting him some open looks is going to be key in this one.
And conversely, from the Bears, the Bruins are a team that really limits their turnovers. They rank number 5 in the Pac-12 in turnovers per game at 11.7 through February 7th. So it'll certainly be a great matchup to watch against this red-hot Cal Bears team. Now, as you can hear in the background, they are announcing the starting lineup, so I won't spoil it until they're fully finished here. But it is a packed stadium here at Haas Pavilion. Now, under head coach Mark Madsen, Rohan, we've seen a really just a new look Bears and a rejuvenized Bears squad. Tell me a little about Mark Madsen and the kind of success he's been having with this program.
I mean, Mark Madsen came in and immediately got a completely different team. None of the starters were here last year, and at the beginning, it was rough, lots of close games, and that hasn't changed. But what has changed is the way that the Cal Bears have been able to close these games out. Winning that overtime game against USC in front of a sold-out crowd, the first time in 7 years, winning a close one against the rival Stanford Cardinal, and he's really changed the outlook on this program so quickly. And, he said when he first came here in his presser, we're going to bring the fans back to Haas Pavilion, and
That's
he's
right.
absolutely done that so quickly.
100%. Last game, Cal men's basketball sold out the arena, over 11,800 standing room only in this building. Today, you're looking around similar numbers in the sense that it is, I'd say, around 10,000 or so. Maybe a couple of empty seats, but we had never seen this in a couple seasons previous.
Yeah, I mean, last year, I believe the average attendance was somewhere around 3,400, and in the last 3 home games or so, it's double that or more. So
it'll be a great environment for sure in this final regular season matchup between UCLA and California. Of course, UCLA departing for the Big Ten, California departing for the Pac-12. Now, UCLA, their starting lineup: Dylan Andrews, Brandon Williams, Stefanovic, Mack, and Bona. And California, it's Keontae Kennedy, Cone, Jalen Tyson, the lead scorer for the Bears, Jalen Celestine, and Amac Farda. over, left to right. A high arcing shot and drops it through the net for 2. Jalen Tyson now with 5.
Right out the gate, the Pac-12's leading scorer, I believe, just continuing to score points at ease.
Gets about 20 points per game as a pull-up J from the left elbow is good. This time by UCLA, number 2, Dylan Andrews with the bucket. 4-5 is your score. 3 minutes into this first half. Amac out up top, looking for Celestine. Celestine takes a high pick by Amac, back out to Tyson. Tyson nearly doubled, back over to Amac, draws the double now. Near the baseline, kicks it out to Celestine. Steps in for a 3, no good.
Again, shot clock winding down. Celestine just had to shoot a 3.
Stripped away by the Bears in transition. The Bruins turn it over. It's Kennedy looking for a 3. Won't pull the trigger. Back out to Tyson. Tyson. That could have been a deep one. Wants the pick by Amac up top. Hands it over to Amac. Now on the right wing, it's Kennedy. Off to Tyson. On the corner. Little fake out to drive inside. Draws the foul, rising up, and will shoot 2 at the charity stripe. 5-4 is your score.
Jalen Tyson is so physical around the rim, and you know, these kinds of plays, he always manages to draw at least 2 or 3 defenders. And this time it earns him a couple of free throws.
So Tyson has been cooking so far. 5 points, 2 for 2, including a made 3-pointer. As he's at the line and drops it through for his first free throw of the game.
I mean, to think that he almost didn't even play this year, didn't have his waiver cleared until after the season started, and now has elevated his draft stock, first-round grade on some scouting reports.
2 for 2 at the line, the transfer from Texas Tech. As UCLA tries the jumper from the left elbow once again, Dylan Andrews knocks it down from the same spot.
So Dylan Andrews has all 4 points for UCLA, and of course Jalen Tyson with all 7 for Cal.
7-6, kick outside. Kennedy looking for Amac. Amac nearly gets it stripped away, keeps with it, bounces it off the glass, too strong. Here comes Stefanovic on the other end. Underneath, Bono working on Amac, wants to exact his revenge. Underneath, hits the floor hard, gets fouled on his way up. Will shoot 2 after this timeout break here on your live source for Cal Sports, KALX Berkeley, 90.7 FM. the floor of Pete Newell Court here at Haas Pavilion. This is Ryan Chen, Rohan Gandhi on the mic, Jonah Kligman engineering from the studio. Cal men's basketball is taking on the UCLA Bruins. The score right now is 7-6. The California Golden Bears up by 1, 5 minutes into this first half. Now, the last time Cal played UCLA was last month, actually. Cal snapped an 11-game losing streak to the Bruins, defeating UCLA 66-57 on January 6th. That was the Bears' first win in Pauley Pavilion, get this, Rohan, since February 6th, 2010. So well over a decade since the California Golden Bears had beaten the Bruins on their home turf. And now Cal is seeking its first regular season sweep of UCLA since 2010 here at Haas Pavilion.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA, obviously, perhaps the most storied program in the history of college basketball. Wins are hard to come by against a team like UCLA, but this year, Cal has a chance to sweep them. I mean, what a turnaround for Mark Madsen, but here it is. Won the final matchup in the history of Pac-12 football.
Andrews off the inbound. Tries a three, too short off the corner. Here comes Jalen Cone with a burst of speed now. Kicks it out to Kennedy. Why not let it fly? And that wide open three is off target for Keontae Kennedy from the right wing. Picked up by the Bruins. Andrews, kick outside for three, left wing. Is good for UCLA. Knocking it down is Sebastian Mack. UCLA back up top, 7-9. It's Celestine. A couple of dribbles to create some space. Can't get it to fall. Back the other way it goes to Dylan Andrews, the Pac-12 Player of the Week. A bit of hesitation left to right. A nasty crossover to get inside. A foul called against Jalen Cone on the lower block. So Andrews will head to the line for two.
Well, on Cal's end, it's the Jalen Tyson show, but on the other end, it's been all Dylan Andrews. He's been involved in every play so far. And now he's got to put a couple of free throws.
The playmaker, the scorer, doing it all for the team sporting the Bruin blue jerseys here. There's Andrews. They look to balloon this lead. It's 7-9 though. Cal still in striking distance. We'll get the first to fall. So under 15 minutes left in this first half. What do you like from the California Golden Bears?
I mean,
Or
we
not
haven't,
like?
we haven't seen a whole lot of anybody else besides Jalen Tyson. That three, you're getting open looks, a three from Keontae Kennedy. You'd like that shot to go down. Just have to execute.
As Andrews knocks down the second to get his 6th point of the ball game. Grant Newell, or my apologies, number 1, Rodney Brown Jr. has checked in for the Golden Bears as he nearly gets it stripped away, and he does. Here comes the UCLA Bruins on the other end. A nice, easy connection and a feed inside to Dylan Andrews, who rolls it in for two off the full court press. Again, pressing Rodney Brown Jr., who's checked in. This is an issue that has been plaguing the California Golden Bears all season long, and a 10-second violation occurs as the UCLA Bruins have a lid on the Bears.
The full court press, Mark Madsen's offense hasn't been able to break it at all this year. And earlier in the year, teams were trying this, and it was having success. And
yeah, I believe that's the second backcourt 10-second violation called against the Bears in the last two games. 7-13. Kick outside. Fake. Now dribbles baseline. Poked away by Brown Jr. off the pass to the corner. Last touch by Brown Jr.
Well, with Jalen Cone out of the game in favor of Rodney Brown Jr., the Bears don't really have a true point guard on the floor right now. So it'll be interesting to see who they have running the offense.
4 left on that clock for UCLA to cough up a shot. Here comes Andrews now, sliding inside, blocked away by Kennedy from behind, but a shot clock violation. Nevertheless, the Bears will take control 7-13, under 14 left in this first half. So that stops UCLA's 9-0 run, or at least throws an obstacle at them. Cal on the other side, a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 27 seconds. 0 for 4.
Yeah,
Gotta
a little
put
bit
up
of
a bucket.
a different look now with Gus Larson into the game. No more AMAC, no more Cone.
Tyson, left to right. Crossover move, inside, and an errant pass is thrown to the stands of Cal, looking for a cut by Kennedy. And it'll be a turnover for the Bears.
Well, when Cal takes care of the ball, points seem to come easily, but that's 3 straight turnovers now.
Not a great look. Cal shooting at 25%. UCLA in the driver's seat against their big brother, Cal. Stefanovic now working on Tyson. Calling up a screen up top. Will throw it to Bona. Bona now underneath. Spin move. Foul. Called against number 31, Gus Larson, for his first minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, this one looked to be poked away initially, by Grant Newell, but they ended up calling that foul, I believe, on Larson, right?
Correct. So Bona at the line.
A lot of hype around Adem Bona coming into this year. One of the top freshman recruits. Such a young team, UCLA, this year.
As he knocks down to first. It's his defensive presence that is really fortified this UCLA Bruins squad. He is number 7 on UCLA's career block list. And he's on the watch list for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award. But right now, he's on the offensive end, knocking down his second free throw. 2 for 2 at the charity stripe, as Cronin will check him out and give him a high five on the sidelines. 7-15.
Well, these are minutes that Cal's going to have to start to make some offensive moves, especially with Bona out of the game.
Heading it off to Tyson now. Tyson scanning off to Kennedy. Left wing. Jab step. Off to the right-hand side. Up top to Larson. Larson now handing it off to Newell. Newell looking for his first points of the ball game. Slides his way inside. 7 left to shoot. Nearly stripped away by the Bruins. 4 left to shoot. The Bears have it. Larson for 3. Up top. Knocks it down right on cue.
And that'll get the crowd back into this. I mean, a completely broken play, and Gus Larson saves it with a prayer 3.
Larson wants to hear it from the crowd. He is hyped up 15-10. Bears only down by 5. Underneath now. Working on Larson. It's UCLA taking the double. Outside. Top of the key 3. No good. Battle for the ball. Foul called on the floor.
Yeah, looks like this one will go against.
Yeah, against UCLA. That is a second team foul off the board.
Yeah, Cal needed that 3, and it's such a big way. Crowd back energized on their feet now. See if Cal can capitalize.
Kennedy scanning over to Larson. Still a bit of pressure in that backcourt applied by UCLA. It's Kennedy now. Looking up top to Tyson. Tyson takes a screen by Larson. No, doesn't take it. Behind the back, gets it stripped away. Another turnover by the Bears. Here come the Bruins on the other end, and they dunk it through on the top of his head. That's number 15, Adai Mara, with the jam off the initial miss by the Bruins. Poked away by the Bruins once again. Here comes Andrews with some height. A hard foul by Larson, hitting the floor hard. And he'll head to the line for 2 as another timeout is called to stop the bleeding.
Man, the turnovers are just destructive. And Mark Madsen's got to talk it over.
It's a timeout is called on the floor. We'll send it over to break for some music. Shout out to Jonah out from the studio here on your live source for college sports, KALX Berkeley, 90.7 FM. Back here live in Haas Pavilion on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Berkeley, California. The California Golden Bears taking on the UCLA men's basketball team, currently down by 17-10, 11:28 left in this first half of action. And I do want to say Happy Lunar New Year to everyone as well. I should have mentioned it at the beginning of this broadcast, but it is a very happy Chinese New Year as Haas Pavilion is honoring the celebrations on their Jumbotron as well. But both teams still in their respective huddles on this timeout break. So far, the California Golden Bears shooting at 33%, and UCLA shooting at 46% on the floor, 4% better than their season average.
UCLA's defense has been so good all year. It's been what has carried them through this winning streak of theirs, and Cal has got to find a way to get open looks. They've been all over the place. Cal can't even get shots up right now.
And the reason why is because they have been coughing up the ball one too many times. 5 turnovers in the last 5 minutes. 6 turnovers so far.
Jalen Cohn checking back into the game should hopefully start to remedy the issue for Mark Madsen and Cal.
As it's Dylan Andrews at the line for 2, knocks down the first. And we'll get the second. 2 for 2 off the charity strike. 10-19, 9-point lead for UCLA. Jalen Cohn off to Jalen Tyson. Up top, Kennedy for 3. Pulls the trigger, can't get it to fall.
Second open look he's had so far. Hasn't connected on either of them.
Andrews takes it back. He is shifty with it, working on Kennedy. Creates some space. Mid-range J falling to the floor. Won't get the foul call. Off the mark for the Bruins. Picked up by the Bears. Kennedy waving off the screen. Back up top to Newell. Newell to Amack. Amack looking for Cohn. Stops his dribble. Out on the right wing. Off to Tyson now. Left to right. Pull up J. Baseline is good for Jalen Tyson now. Knocking down his 9th point of the ball game.
Jalen Tyson just taking what the defense will give him, and the defense isn't giving him much. He just makes a great individual play, a pull-up jumper, and still only 2 Bears on the board.
Underneath, alley-oop pass, no good. As the big man down low, Mara, doesn't get enough height on that ball. Kick outside. Kennedy, jab step. Steps in for a shot and knocks it down for two. Kennedy shrugging off the defense.
Third Bear with points on the board now, and Haas is getting loud for some defense.
Trying to cut into this 5-point lead now. Under 10 left in this first half. Underneath, Mara gets it stripped away by Jalen Tyson with the steal off to Kennedy. Alley-oop pass and picked up by the Bruins. Caught it mid-air. A great defensive effort by Stefanovic. Back the other way it goes to the Bruins.
Lazar Stefanovic acting like a defensive back there.
Stefanovic now working on Newell. Kick outside to Andrews. Andrews, jab step, working on Tyson now. Underneath to Mara. Back over to Andrews. Stefanovic thinking about a three. Gets two Bears jumping. Kick outside. Three is off the glass and good for Brandon Williams. 22-14.
That's just a tough break for Cal. Just a bank in three towards the end of the shot clock.
The bank is open on a Saturday. Kennedy now. Screen up top. Kick outside. Jalen Coe now. Left to right. Inside. Working on the baseline. Back up top to Tyson. Tyson now underneath to Amac, who dunks it home for two. Jalen Coe all over that.
He tried the same move twice. First time, couldn't find Amac underneath. Second time, they bit.
Got to start heating up your big man wearing the 00. Averages 15.3 points per game. A foul called against Tyson out on the perimeter. But Amac, he has been a real anchor for this Cal offensive identity. The big man down low, 6'11", one of two Canadian locals alongside Jalen Celestine, who's checked in for the ball game. Cal 3 for 3 in their last couple of field goal attempts. It's Bona working on Amac, bounces his way inside, and is called for the travel before he potentially bounced it in for two. Cronin not too happy with that one. Tried to split the defense, but took an extra step while at it.
Yeah, Bears catch a break there. Time to see if there's a response.
Newell out to Cone. Cone, the transfer from Virginia Tech, looking for Amac. Amac now up top. Trying to hand it off to Celestine. He does. Celestine underneath to Newell, who nearly yams it down and gets the foul call. Grant Newell wanted to catch a body.
Man, Grant Newell cocked that thing all the way back, and UCLA just came flying in at them. Bona never had a chance of blocking it, but at least prevented the dunk.
Yeah, Bona will take the safe option, will take the foul and send Newell to the line for two after, though, this timeout break. 22-16 is your score. Make sure to stick around to see if Cal can carve into this lead here on your live source for Cal Sports, KALX Berkeley 90.7 FM.
Oh, no. Your time is easy. So let me go, set me free. Baby, you wake up finally. Your time is up. I bet you're gonna love me only when I'm gone. Yeah, let me go. Set me free, baby.
Back on the court of Pete Newell Court, 16-22 is your score with under 8 minutes left in the first half of play. California currently 3 for 3 on their last field goal attempts. And so Grant Newell will head to the line for 2.
Newell, one of the few returners that gets significant rotation that says he misses the first one.
He sure does. Last year had 28 out of 31 potential starts. And can't get the second to fall. I guess those few chants from our side of the court actually worked, as the Bruins faithful is pretty plentiful on our side. Here at Media Row, Stefanovic underneath to Bona. Bona kick outside, right to left, nasty crossover, stripped away, nearly stripped away, kept alive by Bona, who hooks it in for 2.
Well, Adam Bona just in the right place at the right time, and that's a signature big man shot for him.
Amac to Celestine. Celestine out to Newell. Newell, wide open 3. Can't get it to fall, and that one was way off target. Hit the front iron and the backboard, but not quite in. Bona. On the left side, bumping his way through against Imac. Couple of passes out to the corner. 4-3. UCLA can't get it to fall, but UCLA collects their loose change. An offensive board. Still in control. Rising up for a shot and popping it off the glass for 2. It's Sebastian Mack with the deuce.
Cal getting dominated on the offensive glass so far in this one. 4 offensive rebounds for UCLA.
10-point deficit. Quick 3, quick trigger, off the mark by Cone. On the left wing. The Bruins hunting for more. It's Williams back up top. Bona off to Stefanovic. Quick trigger and a 3 is good from the top of the key. Stefanovic now putting the Bruins up by 13. UCLA on a 7-0 run in the last 1 minute and 23 seconds. It's Rodney Brown Jr. underneath to Imac. Imac, mano now draws the double. Hook shot off target. A tip rebound by Newell. Gets it stolen away by the Bruins. Caught it off the deflection intended for Amac.
3-minute scoring drought now, and
Foul called, slicing and dicing left to right. On the right elbow, it'll be Sebastian Mack shooting 2 off the foul call by Celeste.
there's no spark for Cal right now on the offensive end.
Yeah, you could pretty much hear a pin drop in this packed Hospitalian still. Back for 2. The 6'3" freshman guard. He is one of many freshmen on this UCLA Bruins team as he can't get the first to fall. I mean, we know how good UCLA has been in years previous, but they are a very new team with a lot of players graduating and moving on.
Yeah, definitely not the same team with players like Jaime Jaquez and Johnny Juzang and all these kind of guys that took them to the Final Four.
As the second free throw rims out, 0 for 2 at the line. But yes, I mean, this is the future of UCLA basketball. 12 of UCLA's 15 players are in their first or second seasons on the court. As Keontae Kennedy now is hounded out up top, off to Celestine. Jab step off to Amac, back out up top to Celestine, who knocks down the 3 from the left corner in front of the student section. That's the kind of spark you need if you are the Bears.
Well, I mentioned it in pregame. Jalen Celestine, the best three-point shooter by efficiency in the Pac-12.
Mara, the tallest player on the floor, draws the double, kick outside, three ball, no good, bit too short. The Bears pick up the loose change. Off to Celestine, same corner three, this time too strong, battle for the ball, Mara picks it up, and there is two big men fighting for the ball, and it's the 7'2" center who takes control. 10-point deficit.
Physical battle underneath with Larson and Mara.
Mack takes a high pick, left to right, bumps his way through, tries to draw the foul call, won't get it. Off target with his shot, Keontae Kennedy for three. Too short. Just grazes the rim as Stefanovic pulls it in.
All of a sudden, the pace picking up, open looks, just have to convert.
Under 4 minutes left before the halftime break. The Bears down by 10. Stefanovic with the ball. Working on Tyson, and a tough J in the face of Tyson. Off the left elbow, Stefanovic is automatic.
Difficult jumper fading to his left, hand in his face, but it ends UCLA's scoring drought. And the Bears have to respond now.
Tyson up top by screen from Larson. Underneath by Mara. Falling away for the shot. Doesn't get it to fall. Foul called by the pickup by Kennedy. And a timeout called. From that fourth team foul on the floor by UCLA. So 31-19. We'll stick with it on the floor. Because Rohan, I want to talk about this run that UCLA is on and this scoring drought. Now 1 for the last 7 by Cal.
I mean, at the beginning of this run, UCLA had just such stifling defense. Anything inside was contested. Anything outside was contested. All of a sudden, though, the game has started to open up, and Cal has a chance to get back into this game with some threes. Open looks for Celestine. He knocked down one of them, but he missed another one open in the corner. And Keontae Kennedy has yet to knock down a three-pointer. So Keontae Kennedy absolutely has to start knocking down these threes and just forcing UCLA to be more conscious of the open threes. And maybe that'll start to open up the lanes for guys like Amac, guys like Tyson.
100%. I mean, Keontae Kennedy with 9.4 points per game this season. One of the lethal scoring options for this Bears squad. He wants to live up to the number 3 as he wears it for Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, and Bradley Beal, according to the Cal team notes. Then he's got to start knocking down some shots. But you're right. I mean, you mentioned before about the lack of possibly playmaking by the Bears. I mean, who are you trying to run that offense through now?
It's definitely Jalen Cone. I noticed that as soon as Jalen Cone came back into the game, they sort of took their feet off the pedal a little bit as far as the full court press goes. And the offense has seemed to click a lot more with him on the floor. He's just so fast and such a good passer. Just another weapon to watch out from 3 as well. But nobody else on this Cal roster really has the same skill set as Jalen Cone. They're all different players in their own rights, but they were trying to run it through Rodney Brown Jr., and he's more of a wing compared to someone a bit smaller like Jalen Cone, only 5'11", but so fast, so athletic.
Yeah, you're right. A spark of energy has taken over the Bears squad ever since Jalen Cone has checked in from the bench. But, of course, UCLA's defense has just been very solid here. They forced a 10-second violation. They've gotten a lot of defensive stops against this Cal Bears team, as they have against Cal's rival, Bay Area rival against Stanford. UCLA is coming off of their 6th straight victory against the Stanford Cardinal. They won 82-74 not too long ago, led by Sebastian Mack, who had 21 points in that game. 5 Bruins scored in double-digit figures.
I mean, yeah, Stanford is such a high-octane offense. so many 3-pointers with them, and they did well to even score 72 points, but UCLA has really flipped the switch since the last time that Cal saw them.
As Kennedy will knock down his first free throw. Again, he grabbed the board and rose up for a shot. Got the foul call against Stefanovic. As Kennedy gets the second. 21-31 is your score. Andrews now. Up top to Stefanovic. The full court pressure by California Golden Bears this time. 3 minutes left to go before the halftime break. It's Stefanovic now standing. 1v1 with Celestine. Kicks it over to Andrews now. Left wing. Up top. Williams. Stops his dribble. 7 left to shoot. Out on the right wing. Up top to Bona. Bona off to Andrews. 2 left to shoot. Top of the key. 3. Off target. Way off target. Hits the front iron. Picked up by Jalen Tyson, who averages a remarkable 7.6 rebounds per game.
That time the Cal defense just doing good, not giving up anything.
Underneath to Amac. Won't push his way through. It's Jalen Cone. Off to Kennedy. Gets it poked away. Here come the Bruins now on the other end. Chaos for it. Bona picks it up. Bona rising up for a shot. Stripped down by Amac. Foul called. A bit too much aggression as Bona will head to the line for 2. Second on Amac.
8th turnover there for Cal, and they keep mounting up. 11 points off turnovers so far for UCLA, and that's the difference in this one.
10-point lead for the visiting team. Adem Bona. Now, for his second trip at the charity stripe, 2 for 2 so far. UCLA 6 for 8 as a team when at the line. Knocks down the first. Some substitutions are made. Amac, not too happy, will check out, as does Keontae Kennedy. Back in for the Bears, Grant Newell and Gus Larson holding down the front court.
Gus Larson's been playing with some energy so far and just trying to find somebody to give a spark offensively.
Second free throw. Good. 2 for 2 by Bona. 4 for 4 so far. 2 minutes left before the halftime break. Dead silence by this crowd, even though Cal has a chance to carve into the now 12-point lead. Larson up top. Larson off to Tyson. Tyson needs to get the ball rolling. He has 9 points here today. 6 left to shoot it. Tyson, pull up 3. Top of the key. Off the left iron. Will bounce out to the sidelines. Over to the Bruins.
Cal still can't find a way to get inside. Adem Bona just such a big presence in there. Not giving up anything easy at the rim. And the 3-pointers just won't fall.
On a huge scoring drought, the Bears are. It's Andrews, left to right, taking the high pick. Now off to the left-hand side. Nearly gets it poked by Tyson. Last touch by Andrews. And Tyson does force the ball the Bears' way. Picking it up, it's Cone. Up to Newell. Dribble handoff. Up top to Tyson. Tyson now working on Bona. Bit of a mismatch. Foul called out on the right wing. So UCLA is in the bonus, but Cal is not. So they'll still keep it on the floor. As it's Larson up top to Tyson. Looking to break the scoring drought. Tyson now, shifty with it. Cross-court pass up to Celestine. Off to Newell now. 7 left to shoot. Step back. Jumper is good for Grant Newell. A much-needed bucket by the Bears.
That mid-range jumper is great. It's Grant Newell's bread and butter, and it's got to feel good for him to knock that one down. He had been missing a lot of open looks earlier in this one.
Lead back down to 10. A nice turnaround hook shot, good for Mara. His first points of the ball game. The 7'3" center from Spain gets the deuce.
Adai Mara just making that look so easy against Gus Larson.
Shot clock, 1 second between the shot clock and game clock is it's 23-35, 10 seconds left. Jalen Tyson now stuttering. Drives inside, takes it for two. Will get the foul call on his way up.
Man, Tyson hit the deck really, really hard, and he is on the ground in pain.
Yeah, he is shaking up.
Kind of had the chair pulled underneath him when he went up to elevate for that layup. But he is walking of his own accord.
Good to see it. Walking a bit gingerly. 3.6 seconds on that clock. Jalen Tyson will shoot the ball for two. As Sebastian Mack will pick up the foul. And he was in the restricted area. Tyson needs some time. It's good to see him still on the floor. Jalen Tyson averages 20.3 points per game for the Golden Bears. Knocks down the first. The lead scorer for this home squad. He's a top 10 candidate for the Julius Erving Small Forward of the Year award. A prestigious honor. As Tyson so far has 10, looking to make it 11. Rims out, no good. Picked up by the Bruins. Timeout called. 3.3 seconds left on that clock before the halftime break. We'll send it over to the studio for some music here on your live source for Cal Sports, KOX Berkeley 90.7 FM.
Did you cut your hair just to stay afloat? I remember you said just go. If you love me now, you gotta let me know. You're like a dream.
24-35 is your score. UCLA up against the California Golden Bears. 3.3 seconds left on the clock before the halftime break. With the inbounds pass, it's number 9 for UCLA, Berka Bayuktunjel.
Just going to baseball pass one.
Hand it off to Mack. Mack now running it up the floor. Deep three. Rims out. Nearly gets it in the face of Keontae Kennedy. And a breath of fresh air as UCLA cannot get a bucket, albeit would have been a spectacular one. 35-24. California will have some words with Mad Dog Mark Madsen, their head coach. Let's see if they can get a spark here. But so far, Rohan, UCLA very dominant. 46% on the floor, 33% from three, but they are led by Dylan Andrews. 10 points, 3 for 7, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. And the California Golden Bears led by Jalen Tyson. Rohan, if you're Mad Dog Madsen, what kind of words are you going to have for your Bears?
I mean, it's gotta be stressing taking care of the ball. The 13 points off turnovers has been just such a huge role in this game that is played, and and boxing out as well. These are areas where Cal is accustomed to having the upper hand, especially during this winning streak, doing such a good job of taking care of the ball. But UCLA's defense is a little bit of a different animal, and they've been really dictating the pace of this game so far.
100%. So UCLA still up in front. 15 minutes, or now 14 minutes left before we resume play here for this halftime break. But we'll send it over to the studio. Ryan and Rohan checking out for just a bit. Thank you to Jonah for engineering this game and making us sound good with the music as well. Back to the studio of CalX 90.7 FM, your live source for Cal Sports.
So So I've been reading the corridor. I wondered if you could ever see me that way. It was on my list at the grocery store. When you grabbed my wrist and said you liked my keychain, read your future in a weekly paper. And honestly, I found it a little bit blurry. Friday fell to the coffee table, and that's when I started my heart exploding. You like you asked me if I was intrigued by honesty. I sat next to you on the picnic bench.
Welcome back to a packed Haas Pavilion. The California Golden Bears taking on the UCLA Bruins for the second time this season and potentially the last time in a while. California moving on to the ACC next season. UCLA moving on to the Big Ten. 24-35 is your score. 20 fresh minutes are back on that clock. Rohan, I mean, we talked a bit about the Bears' woes here. They came out of this halftime break, and maybe we don't really need to talk about it anymore, as we'll let the play resume and let the play speak for itself.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of that half, Cal started to get some better looks. We'll see if they can start to fall here in the second frame.
Switching sides of the basket, it's Andrews up top, working on Cone. Takes the high pick by Bona. Cutting inside, rises up for a shot. Pump fakes in the air, can't get it to fall. Off target, here comes Cone. Cone. Amac now, working on Bona. Slipping and nearly sliding, hands it off to Cone now. Left side, gets it stolen away. And that'll mark a 9th turnover for the Bears.
Another turnover just off the dribble, poked away, and UCLA takes over.
Rising up for the elbow jumper. Too strong, picked up by Tyson with the elevation. Missed shot by Williams underneath to Amac, who nearly yams it down underneath, but couldn't get it through the hoop. Just lost control of it.
Those are ones you just got to have.
Bona's now working with Amac. Spin move inside. Puts it up. Foul called. as Tyson came in there to collapse in on Bona.
Tough foul call. Tough sequence in general for Dawes. Just you have to finish on the offensive glass and then call for the foul on the other end. That's his third foul now, so only 2 more before he's got to sit out.
Bono with 6 points here today, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. A remarkable percentage for the 6'10" sophomore forward. Knocks down the first. Pretty automatic. Unfazed as the balloons have come out on the side of the basket. The student section, or part of the student section, trying to mess up Bono's shot right now.
Yeah, it's become a tradition since they've been able to fill up this expanded student section.
Rims out, 1 for 2. Amac nearly keeps it alive off the rebound, but it's had a foot out of bounds. So as Amac fell to the baseline to try and save the ball, he couldn't get it inbound in time. So UCLA will retain control. Andrews up top on the left wing, sliding inside, pulling up for a J, knocking it down, falling to the floor. It's number 12, Sebastian Mack, who's a bit shaken up, but gets the deuce nevertheless. Here comes Jalen Tyson, burst of speed, foul called against UCLA.
Man, that sequence, Cal just can't catch a break. Even with the missed free throw, Bona being perhaps distracted by the student section, can't grab the rebound, turns into 2 more points.
Tough. 38-24. Jalen Celestine now on the inbound. Bit of a pause. UCLA shooting at 45%, holding Cal to 35%. It's Celestine now on the baseline. Over to Amac. Amac left wide open. Didn't pull the trigger. Now working on Bona, who's collapsed in on him. Here comes Amac fading away. Tough shot. Won't get it to fall. Picked up by Kennedy. Off to Celestine. Thinking about a 3. Steps back for it. Left wing foul called. And 3 coming up for Jalen Celestine. Will have to earn it, but will draw the foul nevertheless.
Big foul call, and Jalen Celestine, it's not like a broken record. He shoots the 3 ball so well. He knows when to take his shots. He knows that he usually only shoots the open ones, but they're able to draw the foul on Lazar Stefanovic. And sometimes free throws are just the best way to get back into a basketball game.
So 18-20 left in the second half. Not too much has really changed since the halftime break. Right now it is Celestine for his first couple of free throws of the game. Knocks down the first. So Jalen Celestine is one of those guys who's been now a staple for this Cal Bears squad. He was there during the tough years of Mark Fox, and now he's here during the upswing of Mark Madsen. Not so much of an upswing right here, as he's 1 for 2 at the line against a deficit on UCLA, but nevertheless, Jalen Celestine is one of the only Bears who's really stuck around through the coaching changes. He misses the 3rd free throw, and he goes 1 for 3 at the line. Has struggled all his career at the charity stripe.
So interesting for someone who is as good of a jump shooter as Jalen Celestine is that he struggles so much from the free throw line.
Yeah, he's 48% from 3 this season. Bona underneath to Amac, rises up for a shot, rims and touches every part of the iron but in. Rims out. Here comes Cone. Step back 3, creates some space for himself. Too strong. Could have been nasty work by Jalen Cone right there.
Those are the shots that on Wednesday night were falling for Jalen Celestine. For Jalen Cone, sorry.
13-point lead. Lots of Jalen's, right? Celestine, Cone, Tyson.
Yeah.
10 seconds left to shoot it. Bona out up top to Stefanovic. Baseline J won't fall. Good defense by Jalen Tyson.
Great contest from Tyson. Defending without fouling.
as it's Cone now taking the screen up top by Amac. Swings it out to Kennedy. Kennedy puts on the moves. Up top to Amac now. Hands it off to Celestine. Underneath to Amac. Amac rising up for it and draws the foul as he'll shoot two. So things are getting chippy. The game is slowing down, becoming a free throw shootout.
Yeah, I mean, already 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes for UCLA. Cal could get into the bonus early in this second half, and Cal may need to make this comeback at the charity stripe. Starts with Big Dawes here.
Big Dawes under the tutelage of Mad Dog. Amac coming from Utah Valley State, then Texas Tech, now with Cal, has followed head coach Mark Madsen for 2 out of those 3 teams. He cannot get the first to fall. Amac has been held silent, 1 for 6 here tonight. 2 points, 1 for 2 at the line. Does knock down the second.
Bears really struggling at the free throw line so far.
Full court press by the Bears. It's what they've seen on the reverse side too many times this season. Dylan Andrews now takes a high pick underneath to Bona. Bona working on Amac. 1v1. Gets Amac to jump and drops it through off the hook.
Just a nice little fake. Got Amac to go up and then dropped in the short one.
Kick outside to Kennedy. Kennedy, burst of speed. Back out up top to Celestine, who drained Well, you can start hearing the Go Bears chant, maybe a bit muted from a couple of days ago against USC. Nevertheless, still a packed crowd and a lot still staying for the game. 29-40. California Golden Bears still down by 11 against the Bruins. Right now at the line, it's Bona.
These fans just waiting for a reason to erupt. But the offense has got to get going first.
Bona can't get the free throw to fall. A bit uncharacteristic from him this season and this game, as he's knocked down 4 of his last 4 free throws. 5 for 6 though. Gets the second. 1 for 2 at the charity stripe this time. So a win for Cal against an elite free throw shooter in Bona. It's Keontae Kennedy. On the converse, though, Rohan, you mentioned it. Cal shooting at 7 for 13 at the line.
Not as many opportunities for Cal as for UCLA, but haven't converted on the ones that the Bears have got so far.
5 left to shoot. Keontae Kennedy thinking about a 3. That's a tough shot. Nearly fading away. Rims off the top iron. Here comes Dylan Andrews. Andrews now working on Cone. Waves off the screen. Bona now on Larson, who's checked in for AMAC. Spins his way. Kicks it outside. 7 left to shoot. They've got to cough one up. Here comes UCLA. Crossover. Step back 3, no good. Picked up by Cone with the elevation. Keontae Kennedy turning on the Jets. And 1 for Keontae Kennedy. Shifty and nifty with it for a much-needed bucket by the Bears.
Unbelievable finish. I mean, he took his right hand. He had the left-handed reverse, just trying to put up any kind of shot, and it eventually falls in. Gus Larson almost tried to jam that one home, but able to restrain himself. And a chance to cut this to single digits.
Yep. Still down by 10, but Keontae Kennedy rose up with some height on that. You can see the athleticism in a lot of these transfers from Cal. It was the number 8 ranked transfer signing class this offseason for the Bears. As Kennedy will convert. 3 points for number 3. And now you can hear the roar of applause by this home crowd. Full court pressure by the Bears.
That 3.3, definitely the energy is needed. Let's see if the defense can keep it going.
Mara hounded by Larson. Up top, wide open 3 by UCLA. Off target. Will not fall for Andrews. Here comes Tyson. Kennedy fouled. Off the handoff by Larson. That foul is called against Dylan Andrews, the sophomore guard. Bit too handsy. 32-41.
Already up to 5 fouls, UCLA, creeping in on the bonus with still 13:29 to go in the game.
Yeah, still plenty of time to make up this deficit. Cal, a lethal 3-point shooting team, and Cone knocks it down right on cue. What a beauty from the top of the key.
Jalen Cone had been waiting to score his first points of the game, and once his 3-point shot gets going, it's hard to stop.
Thunderous applause. 6-point deficit. Mara working on Larson. Gets a fake. Gets him to jump. Hooks it in for 2.
Beautiful move from Mara, just using that 7-foot frame.
Fancy footwork by the big man. Keontae Kennedy. Off to Tyson. Tyson back up top. Still a single-digit lead. Larson slams it down for 2 to the roar of the home crowd.
All of a sudden, the Cal offense firing on all cylinders inside the paint. Open dunks, open threes.
The Bears are now cooking. But Mara tries to silence the crowd, can't get the shot to fall. Rebound by the Bruins. Staying composed, 6-point lead. Mara underneath, slides it. Tough shot. Gets his own board and knocks it down for two. That's Brandon Williams off the glass.
Cal still being out-rebounded by UCLA.
Out-rebounded, out-hustled, but Keontae Kennedy trying to answer back. All air by the Memphis transfer.
Keontae Kennedy now 0 for 5 from the three-point line, and that one wasn't close. A wide-open three as well.
Nevertheless, I mean, you had a bit of a hot streak. Cal does cut in to that lead, and they really had to get things going here with 12 minutes left in the second half. 37-45 is your score. Stick around to see if Cal can continue their hot streak here on their home turf, here on KAOX Berkeley 90.7 FM, your live source for Cal Sports. So Cal has carved into this big lead by UCLA. They are down by 8 with 12 minutes left to go. But Pardaz Amac is usually one of those guys who puts up 15 points for Cal as their second leading scorer. But here tonight, I mean, he's been neutralized with only a couple of buckets, and actually only one bucket at that, working up usually against Adam Bona. Talk about that matchup so far, as you've seen it.
Yeah, Pardaz Amac, a double-double machine, but he's been silenced by Adem Bona. And we mentioned earlier, it's going to be a matchup that really does decide this game, but
LU pass, and a lay-in is good by Brandon Williams from the find by the big man, Mara.
well, as we're talking about Adem Bona, Adem Mara is really shutting down this comeback right now.
Keontae Kennedy slicing and dicing and getting 2 to fall as he falls to the floor. Burst of speed by Kennedy.
Another tough lay from Keontae Kennedy.
I mean, when he goes to the basket, nothing is stopping him. Even at the guard position. 11 minutes flat. Here comes UCLA. Underneath, Mara now loses his dribble. Last touched by UCLA. Good defensive presence that time by Amac.
Adaimara in disbelief. He thought that ball went off of Amac, but the ref indicated off of the leg of Adaimara. Cal basketball.
Yeah, he sure did. Mick Cronin wanted a review on that one. Celestine out up top to Cone. Cone rising up for a three. Can't get it to fall. A quick trigger by Cone. If only he was wide open.
That one would have set him ablaze. He's a very streaky shooter.
Andrews working on Cone. Underneath to Mara. Mara now 1v1 with Amac. Amac holding steady. Will force the ball the Bears' way. Forces up a miss by Mara.
Yeah, I guess Larson had to come out in favor of Amac. Just that defensive presence.
Tyson, shifty, rising up for it and takes the big man, mono, drops it in for two. And now the Bears are on their feet. 41-47, 6-point deficit. Still plenty of time to make this comeback. And a timeout is called by UCLA. A smart one at that. Both teams now shooting at 40% on the floor. Stick around to see what the Bears can do and if they can spark a potentially fortuitous comeback here on your floor of Pete Newell Court. Your live source for Cal Sports, KAOX Berkeley 90.7 FM. So 6-point deficit. The Cal Golden Bears are down. But here comes UCLA. Under 10 minutes left before the end of the game. Rising up for the J. No good. Here come the Golden Bears.
So Adembona back into the game to see if the Bears can still manage to continue scoring.
Tyson up top. Passes inside. Back out to Tyson. 4-3. No good. Front iron. Couple of nifty passes by the Bears.
Very,
And an open
very
look.
creative passes there. Almost worked out.
Got to get another defensive stop. It's Bono working on Amac. Amac with 3 fouls. Kick outside, poked away by Celestine. Mark Manson loves the effort as the ball falls out of bounds. Last touch by the Bears. Stefanovic will bring it inbound.
8 on the shot clock now. UCLA is going to have to work quickly. They're not used to that.
They're not. They always take their time, even with this new look Bruins. Wide open jumper, no good. Picks up his own board, misses it again. No good for the Bruins is number 2, Dylan Andrews, but a foul called on the floor in that chaos for the ball.
Very odd. They called it,
Off ball.
yeah, away from the play a little bit. Is this going to go against AMAC?
No,
it'll-
against, the
it'll be
other
Celestine.
Canadian local.
That's definitely better. AMAC sitting with, or playing with 3 fouls. Don't want to get that 4th one and have to play on pins and needles the whole time, especially guarding Adem Bona.
Correct. Andrews, no look past his big man underneath. Kick back outside, up top with McClendon now. Thinking about a 3. Pulls the trigger from the left wing. That time it's Bayuk Tungel. With the assist by McClendon. 41-50. Cal needs some points up on this board. Amac stops his dribble out on the right wing. It's Jalen Cone. Celestine for 3. Back iron won't fall too strong.
Celestine needed that one, needed the instant response. It's right back up to a 9-point game, just as Cal had all the momentum.
Andrews with the board. Stefanovic to Bona. Bona on Amac. Yet again, Cone comes in to collapse, and a foul is called. And
This
a
will be
timeout.
the 9th and 10th free throws for him.
Yeah, that time against Jalen Cone. As timeout is called by the Bears. 41-50 is your score. So UCLA not letting Cal within striking distance. We'll send it over to break for some music here on your live source for Cal Sports, KALX Berkeley 90.7 FM.
Daddy could see today, returning in his grave. If Mommy could see the way, the boys and girls in the village, they talk to their parents. 2034, we fight the wars, militant born, scrubbing floors, militant born. They're staying at home, doing the chores, what in the world? Do you remember when this life was in perspective, when the loads were expected? They give up the seat on the bus, hoping you join the fun.
Adem Bona with his consecutive free throw line trip, that is.
Big shots here for him.
Can't get the first free throw to fall. So Bona.
It's his third miss of the night, of the evening, I suppose.
Yes, he's 6 for 9 at the line. Cal on a scoring drought of 2 minutes. We were talking about it, Rohan. Not shooting it too great on the floor or from the perimeter, but Bona does miss the second. So
Two great misses there.
A great job all by the crowd, really. 0 for 2. Amac cuts inside to Tyson, who yams it on him. Jaywin Tyson with a burst of speed, backdoor cut, and brings the Bears within 7.
What a feed from Fardas Amac. Just such a tight window, squeezes it in, and Tyson the emphatic jam.
Big man playmaker. Bona working on Amac. Amac standing his ground, and Amac getting it done on both ends of the floor.
He's really starting to get into this game.
Tyson cutting inside, picked up by Amac off of the lost dribble. Back outside, up top to Jaywin Tyson. Amac from 3. Deep one at that, and that one's money. Fardas Amac, a cash register from deep.
All of a sudden, a 4-point game.
It's that spark that we talked about in the break, Rohan. All you needed was 1 or 2 defensive stops, a made 3, a big dunk, and the Bears are within striking distance.
UCLA has had a response at every turn, though.
Working on Amac. Amac stands tall. Rebound by the Bruins. Here comes the 3. Nope. Won't pull the trigger. Out on the left wing. The Bruins slow it down. To the roar of the home crowd. Foul called before a shot could be taken.
Now both teams with 5 team fouls.
Four-point lead. UCLA. Up top. Stefanovic nearly doubled. Wide open from the right wing. Too short. No good for McClendon.
Long defensive possession for Cal, but holding their ground.
Celestine, why not let it fly? Splash for Celestine. Brings the Bears within 1, and the Bears are rolling.
The Cal faithful have been itching to get into this game all night.
Trying to silence the crowd, can't get it to fall. 3 ball, no good by Dylan Andrews. Newell now up to Cone, and they wisely slow it down. What a turn of events.
Chance to tie or take the lead here from down 17 at one point, I believe.
8-0 run. Fardas Amac off to Cone. Cone now. Burst of speed. Rising up for a shot. Can't get it to fall. Can't grab his own board either, as it's Stefanovic with the board. About 11,000 strong here in Haas Pavilion. UCLA up by 1. Stefanovic catch shoot 3 back iron. Too strong. Picked up though. Strong board by McClendon. Newell can't get it the other way.
The offensive rebound still a huge part of this game.
Kick outside. Errant pass nearly falls out of bounds. 5 left to shoot. It's McClendon now. Off to Andrews. Scuttles his way underneath. Shot clock violation. And the Bears have a chance to take the lead here in this upcoming possession. Rohan, this is amazing to watch.
I mean, Cal has had a few nice comeback victories. Of course, that 20-point deficit against Colorado that was erased, and that really started this new wave of Cal basketball. And now we're here in front of a packed Haas Pavilion, a 1-point game, and one that just didn't feel like Cal was going to have an opportunity to get back into the way the offense was playing. But all of a sudden, those 3-pointers are just starting to fall.
Well, if the fans left during the halftime break, they're certainly coming back to see this comeback by the
Tyson
Bears.
lucky that one ended up in Amac's hands.
Cone up top to Tyson. Tyson now. Celestine drives inside. Guarded by two Bruins. Nearly gets it stripped away. The last touch by number 12, Sebastian Mack. Ball is out of bounds. Will retain with the Bears with 2 seconds on that shot clock. Rohan, I want to talk about, what was it? What is this offensive spark? Was it Amac's 3? Was it Jalen Tyson's dunk? What was the singular play that sent this crowd into a frenzy?
I mean, I think Amac's 3 was just the start. And honestly, it seems like it's the defense fueling the offense as well. UCLA is continuing to get offensive rebounds, 2-3 opportunities on each end, but just 30 seconds of solid defense is turning into a 3-pointer on almost every possession.
Yeah, it's a defense that leads to offense, and you've seen Mark Madsen switch out Larson and Amac. And Amac was in kind of some foul trouble, had his fair share of offensive woes against Bona, but now you've seen him as kind of that fortified center underneath. Do you want to see Amac, I think, in these closing minutes?
Yeah, Amac, he's got to be out there, especially if Adem Bona is going to be out there. Gus Larson, more of a stretch 5 look. He's in there against a much lankier Adai Mara most of the time. But even once Mara started to get it going on the little push shots, little hook shots, Larson wasn't able to defend that. He's just not as big of a body as a guy like Fardaws Amac. So expect to see Big Dawes play the remaining 4 minutes here. But just 2 seconds on the shot clock here. A quick 3 from someone like Jalen Cohen would send this crowd into a frenzy.
Or, a classic is the alley-oop pass from inbounds. When you have that few seconds left on the clock, I guarantee you that happens.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to hear this crowd the loudest it's been here.
Yeah, we heard in overtime on Wednesday night against USC, Tyson came flying in for that putback dunk that just absolutely deafening reaction from the crowd.
And it's really a beauty, Rohan. I remember last year they just had the T-shirt toss right now. People were getting hyped, but that was the most hyped that the crowd would usually be during a game like this. Now, all of a sudden, the Bears only down by 1 against a UCLA team that was not too long ago in the Final Four and in the Sweet 16 for 2 consecutive years.
I mean, it's the last installment of this classic rivalry, Cal and UCLA. The final chapter, of, at least in Pac-12 play prior to the tournament, held right here in front of a packed crowd. And we're going to get another close finish here. Seems like Mark Madsen can't avoid them.
So 2 seconds left. Ball live on the floor in a couple of seconds, 49-50. Jalen Tyson now will throw it inbound. Tyson standing off to Celestine. Quick trigger from deep. Doesn't get it to fall. Picked up by Amac. Foul on the floor by UCLA. So a tough look by Celestine. Can't blame him for the miss.
I mean, he almost
pulled
got
it down,
that one to fall, but yeah, and Fardaws Amac, I mean, he's gonna close this one out for sure, and I mean, he's leading the Pac. I mean, he's leading the team in rebounds. He might even be leading the Pac-12 in rebounds. He's a double machine, and he works now.
Off balance shot picked up by Newell. Wasn't an assist. Who cares? Newell will draw the foul against UCLA.
Yeah, Grant Newell disappointed he didn't get the and one there, and especially he missed his last couple of free throws, but he's got a chance to avenge them now. Some important minutes for the sophomore.
So it's been a while since the California Golden Bears have been in front. The last time was in the last couple of minutes into the ball game. Newell cannot get the free throw to fall. So
0 for 3 now.
Cal is either going to be down or will tie up this ball game with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left. California, a team that is used to close margins, especially in the final minutes. 17 of Cal's 23 games have been decided by single digits. And that's tied for most nationally as of games played by February 8th. Newell misses the second
free throw. So he's 0 for 4 now. Cal hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes, but UCLA hasn't scored in the last 5 minutes.
It is dry for both teams. Andrews kicks it outside. Stefanovic for 3. No good. Bona nearly picks it up. Wrestle for the ball by Celestine. Celestine grabbed it from Bona on the baseline, but he traveled while moving it back to Cal's side of the ball.
Very odd sequence there. So a fresh 20 now for UCLA.
Crowd not happy with the ref's call. Bona up top on the right wing, hands it up to Stefanovic, who just missed a 3, looking to redeem himself, pulls up for the elbow jumper, can't get it all too strong, picked up by Kennedy, the guard.
Another chance to tie or take the lead.
Jalen Tyson. Scanning, stops his dribble, back up to Tyson.
Shoot that 3 over Bona.
Had the green light, steps back for the elbow jumper and knocks it down. In front is Cal.
That's
for the first time since the first quarter.
A mismatch with Tyson and Bona. Bona not quick enough to keep up with the athletic Jalen Tyson, and now Cal on top, 51-50.
Stops the scoring drop, 51-50. Shifty with it, and carving up that Bears defense is Dylan Andrews, who will draw the foul against Keontae Kennedy. What a comeback, though, by Cal here in these final minutes of action. Cal's largest come from behind win was against Colorado, in which they erased a 20-point first-half deficit. This season, Stefanovic, catch, shoot, 3-corner, good. Lethal from deep.
Now, he's been shooting a lot of threes, and Cal been getting lucky, but not that time. Stefanovic makes him pay.
A back and forth affair. Amac down low, foul. Called against UCLA from that feed by Tyson. Amac will now shoot a free throw. California is in the bonus as UCLA has 18 fouls as opposed to Cal's 6. So Amac will have to knock down this free throw to earn himself a second. He does. Cal, in a day where they've been struggling from the charity stripe, gets a big-time free throw from their big man.
Yeah, still just 50%, but a couple big ones from Amac.
Knocks down the second, ties it all up. We are knotted at 53 here, folks. 2:20 left. Mark Madsen cheering on his team. Mick Cronin telling them to slow it down. UCLA with the ball. The rock is now underneath to Bona. Swats Amac's hand away. 1v1 working on Amac. Amac stands tall, and Amac grabs the board off the forced miss by Bona.
Just a one-on-one battle. They've been going at it all night. At the beginning, Bona had Amac's number, but Amac has really responded in the second half. 1:39 to play.
Tyson left to right. Tyson underneath to Amac. Amac gets it stripped away by UCLA. Burst of speed, cutting underneath. A foul called on the shot. It's Sebastian Mack with the rack attack.
A lot of Bears in the area. We'll see who this one goes against, but a couple free throws to break the tie here. Both teams in the bonus anyways.
As both teams will enter their respective huddles. Cone will pick up the foul. As both teams are now in the bonus, the play will be under review. We'll keep it on the floor though. 1:28 left here, Rohan. All knotted up at 53. Let's assume the worst. Jalen Cone picked up the foul, right? UCLA knocks down 2 free throws. What is the next play for the Bears?
I mean, right now, just having a lot of luck with good passes. I think Jalen Tyson, though, he's got to just get a nice, easy 2, try and stay in this one, and eventually hope to come up with a stop on the defensive end. But, man, these are 2 massive free throws.
Play under review, though, right? So we'll see if the foul is called against Cal. This is a big call coming up.
Yeah, I would assume
they're
reviewing between a charge and a block, maybe.
Correct. If Jalen Cone was in that restricted area or not, or if he had his feet planted. In an ideal world, we'd have a rules analyst right now with us.
Yeah.
Kind of break down that call. But all knotted off at 53. What a comeback it's been by the California Golden Bears. In these close margins, it seems to be where Cal thrives, which is why a lot of people are talking about Cal being a sleeper for potentially March Madness. We'll see, but nevertheless, I mean, the stats back it up. Cal has won 3 straight single-digit contests. We'll see if they can pull off the victory under head coach Mark Madsen, who doesn't seem too happy. So I assume that UCLA will have a 1-and-1 opportunity.
So, yeah, they're going to call this on the floor then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cone picks it up at the line for a free throw and possibly more is Sebastian Mack. We are live here at Haas Pavilion. 1:28. Can't get the free throw to fall. And California looking for its first regular season sweep of UCLA since 2010. Tyson now on the attack. Drives inside and swatted away by UCLA. Picked up by Amac. Floats it up, no good. Amac gets his own board and puts it in for 2. California up by 2 with 1 minute left in this game. Timeout is called on the floor. This crowd is hyped up.
The offensive boards, it's been something that UCLA has used against Cal all evening. They've been all over the glass, but Amac just picks up 2 boards and eventually flips it in. Turns a lost play into a Cal 2-point lead.
So what was a big-time block on Jalen Tyson turns into a frenzy. Amac picked it up. Amac redeemed himself with the baby hook shot. And now California is forcing UCLA to respond. Again, with 1 minute flat on this clock. Again, we'll stick with it because my apologies. Cal is on a 14-3 run over the last 6 minutes.
3 points in the last 6 minutes and 36 seconds. The only 3 points coming on that Lazar Stefanovic 3-pointer from the corner. but that first missed free throw by Sebastian Mack, it looked like it was going to be a UCLA 2-point lead, and instead it's a Cal 2-point lead. And if UCLA doesn't convert here, Cal has a chance to make this a 2-possession game, and UCLA would be running out of time. But
exactly.
First things first, the Cal defense has to show up. It's been there all night.
Yeah.
Holding UCLA to just 34% from the field now. UCLA was up in the high 40s earlier in this game. It's dropped all the way down to 34%. And their free throw percentage has dropped as well. They're only 3 percentage points higher than Cal.
Yeah, Cal, meanwhile, on the uptick, 40% on the floor, 29% from 3, matches UCLA, and are only 3% down from UCLA at 56% at the charity stripe. We're here at the House of Pain, as Keontae Kennedy and Mad Dog Madsen call it. Defend our house. A big banner flying over the student section not too long ago. The crowd needs to give this team some more energy. Stefanovic now on the left wing, underneath to Bona, turns around, working on Amac and one call, and Bona with the fancy footwork and one opportunity.
Man, Adem Bona, just a big-time, big-man move. He ends up drawing the foul.
Too big, too strong. It'll force a timeout break. This time we will send it over to some music to give our voices a bit of a rest. 55 for both teams, 50 seconds left. Make sure to stick around in this close finish here on your live source for Cal Sports, KALX Berkeley 90.7 FM. Back on the court of Haas Pavilion, 55 all. The possession arrow with the California Golden Bears after Bona shoots this free throw. He has an and one opportunity after working with Amac. It's been the battle of the Giants all game long. Those two have been chippy.
Bona's missed his last 3 free throws, if I'm not mistaken. 6 of 10 on the day now.
After starting off hot. But yeah. I think as soon as the balloons came in for the student section, Bona has been thrown off his game. Sporting the number 3 for UCLA as he knocks down the shot. So he'll get 3 points off of that last possession. 55-56. The ball is rolling on the floor as Tyson does not want to eat up any more clock. Burst of speed underneath. Drive to the rack. Amac tips it in. Cal with the lead once again.
The positioning, right place, right time. He never even really had it. It just glanced off his hands and into the bucket.
Crowd back up on its feet. The House of Pain giving UCLA some woes. Underneath, elbow jumper rattles in. Razzle dazzle by number 2, Dylan Andrews. And now it's Cal's time to answer back. Ball rolling on the floor, 25 seconds left. The shot clock is off. This could be a potential game winner by Cal. But Jalen Tyson, burst of speed, off the glass, too strong, picked up by UCLA. Foul. A quick foul had to be done. And UCLA will head to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Jalen Tyson didn't exactly slow it down. It was a tough angle for the lead scorer by the Bears.
Yeah, there was two options. There was either take a quick one or wait for the last shot. This place is loud now, and two big free throws. But either way, not the worst decision to go quickly. Just needed to execute.
Lazar Stefanovic knocks down the first to earn himself a second. No matter what, it will still be a one-possession game. Mark Madsen wants to talk things over so that Cal can set up one of their final possessions. But let's talk about the scenarios here, Rohan. Stefanovic knocks this down, right? 60-57. If UCLA is up by 3, Cal will have to take that 3. Who do you want taking that 3?
Today, it's got to be Jalen Celestine. I don't think any of the Bears has shot particularly well from beyond the arc, but Jalen Celestine's 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. That's pretty much all he's done all game is shooting threes. Jalen Cone is usually the guy, but he has not really been on his game tonight.
1 for 5 from 3.
If you can start it out in someone like Jalen Cone's hands, swing it to Celestine.
Conversely, if Stefanovic does not knock this down, does Cal go for 2 or go for 3?
If it ends up being a 2-point game, I find it hard to see how it won't end up in Jalen Tyson's hands somehow.
Sure.
So I think he'll probably just try and drive it himself.
Got a chance to redeem himself, potentially. 57-59, 16 seconds on that clock. Stefanovic rattles in his second free throw. Ice cold for the lead scorer, or one of the lead scorers for UCLA. 15 seconds left, down by 3. What will the Bears do? Tyson now stops his dribble. Celestine for 3. Grazes the front rim, and UCLA will take it. A foul called against the Cal Golden Bears, but a nice look by the person you called it, Rohan, who should have taken that 3.
He had a great look. It looked online. He just left it short. And now they've got Sebastian Mack to shoot a couple of free throws. He's 0 for 3 on the night.
Yeah, foul called against A-Mac.
Not always such a low percentage free throw shooter, Sebastian Mack.
So people are already leaving, but you know what? He does have to earn himself a win for UCLA because
in any case, he does have 2 shots, though. Two chances to seal the deal here. So, and only 4.5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, UCLA is in that double bonus. The first won't fall for UCLA.
No timeouts left for Mark Madsen, so if he misses this, just got to chuck up a 3-pointer and hope it goes in.
Big finish coming up. Mack, 4.5 seconds left. Rattles in the second. 1 for 2 at the line, but that might seal it. 4-point deficit. Celestine got to cough up a 3 or draw a foul with it. He knocks it down with 0.1 left, but it's impossible unless they can steal the inbound pass. And that will end things here in Berkeley. 60-61. A heartbreaking finish as UCLA will avoid the regular season sweep by Cal. Cronin on edge. And Celestine, I mean, he got the 3. He got on the runner, was trying to get a foul with that to force him to the line and tie up this ball game, but it would have had to take a miracle.
He needed that one the first time around, but I mean, so many little things in this game that could have swayed the result here. Didn't even notice that Faraz Amac fouled out at the end of that game.
Yeah, Amac did. 5 fouls.
So many free throws. I mean, looking at Celestine missed a pair of free throws. Newell missed 4 big free throws. Didn't get a whole lot of minutes, but man, just a hard-fought effort in that second half. Just dug a little bit too big of a hole in the first, and UCLA comes away with the win.
Yeah, I think Cal really cut into a lead that really ballooned in the first half and a couple minutes out of the halftime break. Nevertheless, UCLA coming out with a 1-point victory over the Golden Bears in their Bay Area road trip. Make sure to stick around because we'll have one little post-game show coming right up here. Ryan and Rohan almost signing off. But we'll send it over back to Jonah for some music and a little bit of a break. We'll go over the stats, analysis, player of the game, all of that and more coming up here on your live source for Cal Sports, KALX Berkeley, 90.7 FM.
Companion, a foe is less than that to me. When you hear the words you long to hear, open up. And guidance from a personal loved one is more important than you think. When you're all too close, then open with the key, secret key. Flashlights shaking in the closet, hands down you to see. Past plans forgotten and remembered. And now I don't know where to go. Everything that you say to your boss is wrong. Makes you feel like a pain to everyone. And the more time got in, you'll regret the choice. So as long as you choose, then it's the great choice. The other day, when you see the truth, take a step to the front talking. Understand what they mean when you say the words. Sorry you said, get into your home. Is made with a connection. A lonely man becomes a king. When you need the words you long to feel. Listen up. The triumph of a personal loved one. The journey to the golden throne. When the God is grace, we'll see towards the stage. Golden stage. Flashlights shaking in the closet, hands down you to see. Flashlights were beaten forgotten, but now I don't know where to go. Everything that you say to your boss is wrong, makes you feel like
Welcome to Haas Pavilion. A heartbreaking loss for the California Golden Bears, 60-61. UCLA coming out on top in a back-and-forth affair in those closing minutes of action. Ultimately, it was Cal working from the deficit and not being able to hold on to their 1 and 2 point leads. Celestine did knock down a 3 at the end of the ball game, but it was too little, too late. UCLA getting their free throws to fall, led by Stefanovic, namely, to spark that charge at the charity stripe. But what a game here at Haas Pavilion, in a game that looked almost like a crushing by UCLA. We saw the upswing by Cal. What started that first stretch of offense for Cal to cut into that at one point well over 10, 15-point lead?
Yeah, it was 40-26 early, and it looked like Cal's offense was completely stagnant, and eventually what really changed the momentum is that Fardaws Amac started to win that battle with Adem Bona, and you're never going to win that battle 100% of the time, as good of a player as Bona is, but Fardaws Amac started to be able to convert on the inside. He was able to make passes to others on the inside. That nice cut to Jalen Tyson in the second half. And eventually Cal started to come back, but it was just a little bit too little, too late, of course. The 1 point loss. Adem Bona, just such a huge impact, despite the fact that he only played 27 of the 40 minutes. He finished with 13 points and 7 of them at the free throw line. Free throws, a huge reason why UCLA won this game.
Yeah, they were attacking the rim. They were drawing those fouls. And UCLA shot at 36%, though, from the floor. Cal's 40% for them. Cal shooting at 56%, though, from the charity stripe. And you mentioned it, Rohan, 64% from the line for UCLA. Now, in terms of some individual stats, multiple Bruins in double-digit scoring. Andrews with 12, Bona with 13, and Stefanovic with 12 as well. Meanwhile, California, led by who else but Jalen Tyson, averages about 20 points per game every given night, had 16 to show on 6 for 12 shooting. Celestine with 13. Amac, who fouled out in this game, had 12. Most of his buckets coming in that second half. In terms of player of the game from either team, who is it, Rohan?
In the winning effort I think the best player in this game, it is Jalen Tyson. He was absolutely the best player on the floor. He's able to create offense by himself. But as far as UCLA and as far as impact on the game, especially in the first half, Adem Bona was a lockdown defender. You have to take his elite defense into account. Jalen Tyson, not a bad defender himself, but Adem Bona, he had his moments offensively. Only finished 3 of 8, but the lockdown defense and the paint presence that he provided is what allowed UCLA to limit Cal to just 60 points. And Cal's a team that scored well over 75, 80 points in many games recently. So UCLA's defense always smothering Cal.
Yeah, so with this victory, UCLA will move up to 13-11 overall. The California Golden Bears moving down to 10-14. We'll see how that shakes up conference standings. But the next game coming up for the California Golden Bears is Washington State in Pullman, Washington. That's coming to you on February 15th at 7 p.m. It was a back and forth affair, quite a doozy at the end of this matchup. What a game. UCLA taking home the dub, and both teams 1-for-1 in this season's series. You know, Rohan, we talked about this at the very beginning of this game, about how you've never seen Cal men's basketball when you've been commentating.
Nope.
Wins have been relatively few and far between when I've been commentating. Perhaps it's our collective curse that has led to this 1-point loss for Cal men's basketball.
Yeah, it looked like for a second at the end of that game it might be broken, but no, it lives on for me, the streak. And being a sophomore, it's
You got time.
it's mostly due to the 3-29
Sure.
disaster last year.
But things are certainly turning around.
Absolutely.
You saw that comeback by Cal, storming against UCLA. They handed USC a loss with Bronny James and LeBron in attendance.
In the building, yeah.
And they had a big-time dub against Stanford. So, we'll see how Cal can regroup and regather here kind of midway through the season. But, yeah, will be a great matchup to watch, certainly. 61-60 is your final score. I guess good riddance to us. So we have no other games coming up together. So hopefully Cal can get things back in order and pull off a victory with their next game coming up against Washington State. Thank you, everyone, to listening for one final time. You're listening to your live source for Cal Sports, KALX Berkeley 90.7 FM.